Hello, I'm Charles Leclerc and I'm going to take you around my home race, Monaco. So, start-finish line where I used to take the bus to go to school, first bumps at braking, which is quite a hard corner, Saint-Devote, and you need to have a very good exit because all the exit is uphill. Then you arrive in the casino section with a very fast left where you can see through the years that many people are locking the wheels there. Very tricky again to lock the wheel here. Very slowest part of the track actually. Very twisty, very difficult with the hands to get around this corner. And then last corner before the tunnel. Very good exit again because it's one of the longest, probably the longest straight of the track. And you arrive on a very difficult braking point. Also with the lights, you get quite a shock when you go out of the darkness of the tunnel. And here it's extremely important to be as precise as possible until the end of the lap because you can lose a lot of time. This has changed quite a lot through the years and it's actually a pretty fast corner now. Rascasse exit is again not so important, but then in the last corner it is quite important. And that's it really.
Monaco, the ultimate test of man and machine, requiring superhuman concentration and running the fine line between being the best and being in the barriers. Mercedes have been the class of the field in 2019 and Valtteri Bottas knows this could be his year. Just 7 points behind Lewis Hamilton in the standings, the Finn was pushing, going over the limits with a spin at Saint-Devote and brushing the barrier on the exit of the final corner. Pierre Gasly survived this heart-stopping slide on the exit of the swimming pool chicane, while Robert Kubica also had a brush with the barrier, spinning his Williams on the exit of Casino Square.
I come back, I damage front wing.
Yeah, copy that, Robert.
The most expensive city in the world, space in Monte Carlo is always at a premium, and nowhere more so than on the track itself. Kimi Raikkonen still finding it hard to find a clear lap ahead of his 300th career Grand Prix. While championship leader Lewis Hamilton had similar issues with Danik Fiat's Toro Rosso.
Blue flags.
In a strange turn of events, both Haas cars were black flagged and told to stop due to a telemetry and radio issue, meaning the team couldn't communicate with their drivers and had to ask the FIA to black flag them in order to bring them back to the pits. But after some time in the pits, both Kevin Magnussen and Romain Grosjean got going again, setting the 8th and 10th fastest times respectively. But it was Hamilton on top in first practice in Monaco, a race he has only won twice, ahead of the charging Red Bull of Max Verstappen, whose 2018 weekend here proved to be the defining moment of his season. Flawless since his crash in FP3 then, the Dutch driver was just 0.06 of a second slower than the Mercedes. Bottas was third with Charles Leclerc P4 at his home Grand Prix, ahead of teammates Sebastian Vettel, Pierre Gasly and Nico Hülkenberg, who was 7th for Renault. Racing Point struggled with Sergio Perez P16 and the two Williams outpacing his teammate Lance Stroll. Carlos Sainz propped up the bottom of the table after failing to complete a racing lap due to a battery issue in his McLaren. A lap from Toro Rosso's Alex Albon lit up the start of second practice in Monaco. The 2018 Formula 2 pole sitter's 1 minute 12.834 made the paddock stand up and take notice of the Toro Rosso rookie, relishing his first taste of driving a Formula 1 car around the unforgiving streets of Monte Carlo. But his time was soon passed by the superlative silver arrows. Lewis Hamilton was millimetre perfect on his way to the top time for the second successive session, with teammate Valtteri Bottas right on the edge of adhesion, wrestling his Mercedes to P2, less than 1/10 of a second slower than the man he needs to beat in order to become world champion for the first time. Hamilton's cold brakes caused him to overshoot at turn 1, and he was joined by Romain Grosjean, George Russell, and Sebastian Vettel in having to reverse out of the escape road and back onto the track. Carlos Sainz and Max Verstappen both kissed the barriers at the swimming pool chicane, demonstrating just how hard these guys are pushing for every fraction of a second over the tightest track of the season. Sebastian Vettel was best of the rest behind the two Mercedes, while Pierre Gasly had perhaps his strongest showing in a Red Bull to date with P4, just ahead of the impressive Albon and his teammate Max Verstappen, who missed a lot of running with mechanical issues before struggling with traffic, and didn't set a representative lap time.
The car has no grip at all. It's sliding, understeering.
Copy. I'm happy to box if you're not that happy.
Yeah, very happy.
Copy.
After beating Vettel in FP1, Monaco's own Charles Leclerc also struggled with traffic and tyres, only managing the 10th fastest time in FP2, ahead of his first race for Ferrari on home soil. And the midfield battle is as tight as ever, with Haas, Toro Rosso and Alfa Romeo looking closely matched, while it looks like McLaren, Renault and Racing Point all have work to do. So Mercedes on top on Thursday, but anything can happen at Formula One's most famous and formidable racetrack. Following the traditional Friday rest day, Formula One engines fired back into life for FP3 in Monte Carlo, with Mercedes running a red halo as a mark of respect to the late Niki Lauda. Sebastian Vettel's Lauda tribute helmet was on show too, the German session over after just 15 minutes following this crash at Saint-Devote.
Locked up into one. Okay, front left's gone. Sorry for that.
And Vettel's incident was double trouble for Ferrari. His crash triggered a virtual safety car, with teammate Charles Leclerc deemed not to have slowed his car enough under the yellow flag conditions, and summoned to the stewards following what was an eventful session for the Monegasque driver. First having a tete-a-tete with Kevin Magnussen, with Leclerc getting hot under the collar.
Magnussen is crazy. We nearly crashed.
Then getting frustrated with Lance Stroll in the tunnel, and finally wrestling his Ferrari to the fastest time of final practice, a 1 minute 11.265, 7/100ths faster than Valtteri Bottas, and 2/10ths up on Thursday's pace setter Lewis Hamilton. Danny Kvyat grazed the tunnel wall in his Toro Rosso, and Max Verstappen also clocked the barriers, but just got away with it on the exit of the final corner, while Lance Stroll avoided the walls entirely following this huge lockup into Saint-Devote. So Bottas, Hamilton and Verstappen all within 3/10ths of Leclerc's Ferrari, with Kvyat and Alex Albon showing promising pace for Toro Rosso in P7 and P10 respectively. The two Alfa Romeos of Giovinazzi and Raikkonen are also in the top 10, while the Renaults of Hulkenberg and 2018 race winner Daniel Ricciardo seem a bit more competitive after struggling on Thursday. Practice over, the fight for supremacy in Monte Carlo is on, with the home hero looking strong.
Oh, he's hit the barrier. He's whacked the barrier on the way out of the in the middle of the swimming pool, it must be said. That just wandered into the barriers.
Looking at the times of those on the track, Sebastian Vettel could be in a spot of bother here. He still has time, 2.5 minutes to go. Charles Leclerc is in the garage. If a lot of people improve here, Charles Leclerc could be in a bit of trouble as well. He is 12th, but Ferrari might just think that he is above the cut-off point, as Norris was 15th, crosses the line, goes 7th, pushes Leclerc down. This could be a situation where Sebastian Vettel knocks out his teammate in Q1.
It's possible. I mean, Hulkenberg should be ahead of him, so should Vettel.
Kvyat's gone 4th fastest. Charles Leclerc currently 13th. George Russell, his qualifying's over. He is out of qualifying. He's ahead of Kubica, as he has been in all 5 races so far. Sebastian Vettel is the fastest man on the track as it stands at the moment. Albon, Perez and Hulkenberg coming up to the line in a few moments' time while we watch Sebastian Vettel.
And Albon's on a quick lap as well. He could just sneak past Charles Leclerc.
So Ferrari, whatever way they're looking, they are getting just a little bit twitchy. Albon goes ahead of Charles Leclerc, goes into 13th place. Sebastian Vettel makes his way round the final corner. Perez is finished, he is out. Sebastian Vettel now crosses the line, goes fastest by a tenth of a second, and Charles Leclerc is out of qualifying. The Monegasque racer who was fastest in FP3 is knocked out in Q1 as his teammate Sebastian Vettel, right at the last gasp, goes quickest overall. It's success of a sort in one part of the Ferrari garage, it's despair in the other side. This flash of black and gold is Kevin Magnussen through the swimming pool chicane, now down towards Raskas. He could be on for a spot in Q3 here. Giovinazzi looks to be a little bit off the pace. Grosjean's got a personal best through the first sector, didn't improve in the middle sector. Magnussen now goes fifth fastest, pushes Hulkenberg out of qualifying. That looked fully committed from K-Mag, it really did. Giovinazzi next across the line. Can he out-qualify his teammate Kimi Raikkonen? No, stays behind him. He's the slowest man out there, and that sees the end of Q2, where Alfa Romeo are the next team to have a double qualifying elimination, and Grosjean, Norris and Hulkenberg will join them in putting their feet up.
Mate, well, honestly, people don't give a
Stay on the right-hand side, shortest run to the line. Bottas does a 10-2. We still haven't broken the 70-second barrier.
But it can still get faster, don't worry about that. A 1 minute 10.2. Sebastian Vettel 7/10 off on that lap as Max Verstappen makes his way through the swimming pool. That was the curb on the left-hand side that they've been repairing, and a few drivers have been taking a few liberties with it and risking damage to their cars, but getting away with it as they try and straight line through that chicane. Anthony Noge is the final corner of the curb there, helps you straighten up the car as you make your way. DRS assisted towards the finish line. Verstappen goes second fastest with a very good final sector. Hamilton goes second fastest.
Look how bumpy it is on the way into Tabac.
Oh, he's in the barrier. Sebastian Vettel hits the barrier. That is going to derail his pace. He might be able to complete this lap, but he's certainly lost an awful lot there, and he has done very well not to have major damage to his car. He's going to run over the line and finish this particular lap, but Sebastian Vettel almost causing a massive accident down at Tabac. Hit the barrier, lost time as you can see, stays fourth fastest. We're on board now with Lewis Hamilton, who's 2/10 quicker than his teammate Valtteri Bottas.
Cars all over the place at Raskas.
Through the first sector, he's got a personal best through the middle sector. Verstappen stays third fastest, 6/10 off the pace. Hamilton goes onto provisional pole by the slenderest of margins, but his teammate Valtteri Bottas still going, although
had a problem.
Not had a good middle sector at all. Verstappen now crosses the line, third fastest for him, and Valtteri Bottas comes into the pits. Lewis Hamilton takes pole position in Monaco in 2019.
Well, Lewis, that's pole position, mate. What a hectic... That's what I'm talking about! Yes!
Sebastian Vettel hit the barriers at Tabac. Valtteri Bottas couldn't improve his time. Hamilton takes pole, Mercedes-Benz with a 60-second front row lockout in their history.
Yes! Come on!
For Ferrari, it's a qualifying to forget all around. For Mercedes, it's another success. For Hamilton, it's an 85th pole position in Formula One, and on a track where track position is king, as Hamilton taken a great step forward to be king of Monaco on this circuit once more. it's lights out and away we go, and Hamilton gets away well. Bottas tries to cover off Verstappen, and then comes Sebastian Vettel. It's wheel to wheel, Bottas and Verstappen. Bottas just squeezes past the Red Bull there. Giovinazzi and Charles Leclerc taking the inside line, which you're not supposed to do at the start, as they try to stay out of trouble. Through Massenet we go. Hamilton ahead of Bottas, Verstappen, Vettel, and then Daniel Ricciardo ahead of Kevin Magnussen. Two Toro Rossos almost getting in a bit of a heap. Nico Hülkenberg behind them. Leclerc goes around the outside of Lando Norris, and there's contact. Kimi Räikkönen on Lance Stroll. Stroll was just straightened up a little bit there by the Alfa Romeo. They all managed to get through the Lowe's hairpin. Charles Leclerc gets past Lando Norris and up into 13th place.
That was pretty bold, and you need a compliant rival at some point in there.
The Ferrari has got through. The defence from Romain Grosjean didn't pay off there, and Leclerc did get through at Rascasse. You've got to hand it to Leclerc. That was pretty smart.
Oh, that one didn't work.
It didn't work at all. Charles Leclerc's gone for it again. This time he tangles with the Renault.
The Ferrari spun by itself. I don't know if he's tapped the barrier on the inside. He hit the barrier with his right rear.
We have a banker.
Oh dear, and he's now shredding the tyre to pieces and possibly causing a lot of damage, Charles Leclerc.
He's ripping his own floor apart. You have to come back slowly. He's angry, he's frustrated, he's dissecting his own car. It's got to be almost walking pace.
Bottas is away, and that must be an unsafe release, because Max Verstappen has come out at the same time. They very, very nearly touched as well. And Max Verstappen has a 5-second time penalty for an unsafe release. Now we have got a car park at Rascasse. George Russell, Nico Hülkenberg can get past, Robert Kubica can get past. Kubica and Leclerc are kind of stuck there, and this is blocking the track. Double waved yellows. Russell gets going, Leclerc gets ahead of Giovinazzi. But what caused this? Let's have a little look now. Down the inside goes Giovinazzi and spins George Russell round. Perez get caught up as well. Charles Leclerc retires from his home race, and what a wretched home race it's been for him. Now this is Kimi Räikkönen.
Again, it just drives into me.
We saw it, Kimi, we saw it. We have you on board.
Just watching here, Kevin Magnussen and Sergio Perez going into the chicane. Magnussen defending hard and rubbing wheels there with Sergio Perez before he then has to cut the chicane to stay ahead.
Man, Kevin got the chicane. I overtook him and he got the chicane.
We've got half the field all in one place, including the leaders trying to get through the back markers.
This is going to get a bit exciting now as Hamilton manages to lap Lance Stroll, who keeps out of the way of Max Verstappen as well. The car in front is a Williams of George Russell, keeps out of the way. There's a chicane appearing at the back as Valtteri Bottas gets compromised a little bit by Lance Stroll, and it's getting even worse for Valtteri Bottas. Vettel skipped through, and Bottas now is stuck behind the racing point.
Yeah, Stroll will not be very popular with that one, with Valtteri Bottas.
We're going to lose this race, Monaco. I can't look after this tires anymore, they're dead.
So Lewis, just thinking about it, if we manage to the same pace as the cars in front and you can still hold Verstappen behind.
I can't keep the car behind, Mono. Can you not see that?
Yeah, no problem, Lewis.
Lewis needs this to rain for his particular race afternoon.
Sebastian Vettel, who you could argue, with Verstappen having a 5-second penalty and Hamilton struggling, is still sat in a very nice position as well.
I don't know what you're thinking when you keep these tires on, man. You need to hope for a miracle.
Mode 7, when you're ready, Max. Mode 7, to the end.
Verstappen has been given more power. You have overtake available.
Oh, that's great news.
Is he going to send one? Is he going to send one?
Lewis parks the car absolutely perfectly. Now Verstappen tries to switch back. That was super driving, that.
brought him
Here
in.
goes Verstappen down the inside on Lewis Hamilton. They make contact. Hamilton has to cut the chicane. Verstappen does as well. There was definite contact there as Verstappen sent one into the chicane to try and get past.
Yeah, just turns in. I'm trying to overtake.
Hamilton's now going to make it 3 victories around the streets of Monte Carlo and extend his lead at the top of the championship. Hamilton wins the Monaco Grand Prix. Sebastian Vettel and Valtteri Bottas cross the line, and with Max Verstappen's 5-second penalty, they will take their place on the podium as Pierre Gasly crosses the line for a very impressive 5th place finish.
Lewis, that was a victory worth Nicky. Well done, unbelievable job, congratulations.
Carlos Sainz, Danny Kvyat, Alex Albon, Romain Grosjean and Daniel Ricciardo will complete the points for Mercedes. It has been a week where they have mourned the loss of their teammate and friend and valued team member Niki Lauda. It is a week that they will emerge celebratory in Niki's honour. And Hamilton, the championship leader, after his victory in Bahrain and China and Spain last time out. A very emotional, very hard fought and a very well-deserved victory here in Monaco as well.
How did you do? It was right, Paul. We had a race.
This is a lot quicker than I want to go.
I think it's pretty clear in hindsight the hard would have been the same result.
Might have the wrong tyre on, man.
We wanted to add a bit of excitement.
I can't keep the car behind, Bono. Can you not see that?
We won. Is that good?
Oh! It didn't work at all. The gap was there, but quickly it disappeared.
So safety car, box, 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 box.
So Lewis Hamilton now comes into the pit to a stop. Oh look, they touched in the pit lane.
So Valtteri, you have a puncture from right. Box, 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 we are going to the hard. 66 laps remaining, 65 when you cross the line.
That's a fascinating strategy, isn't it, from Mercedes-Benz? To get those tyres that he's on, the medium yellow mark tyres, to the end of the Grand Prix will be a challenge, there's no doubt about it.
Question, does James think I'm in trouble with these tyres? I'm going to drive super slow now, I don't know how long they're going to last.
That's what doing is great, just keep the management up and we'll go our way.
I don't know how these are going to go another 50 laps. Fortunately, I've got this pressure from my hand.
You're dealing with it well, mate.
Left front's opening up.
Okay, copy loose. So it's rear limitation on the first set, so just look after these ones best you can. Any grading should be shallow and superficial, so don't stress too much.
So we've just been given a 5-second time penalty for the incident in the pit lane. It will be added to our race time at the end. Or of course you can overtake Hamilton and drive off into the distance. But yeah, I'll leave that with you, mate.
His job now is to get on the gearbox of Hamilton and force him to go faster.
There's only halfway. These tyres don't feel like they're going to make it to the end, man. So I'm definitely in a bad way. I think I'm in big trouble, guys. Left front is dead. Can't keep the car behind. Bono, he's on my ass. Can you not see that?
Yeah, no problem, Lewis. Yep, he allowed and clear. Verstappen's been there all race.
We're going to lose this race, Bono. I can't look after this tyres anymore. You need to hope for a miracle. The car doesn't want to turn.
Here goes Verstappen down the inside on Lewis Hamilton. They make contact. Hamilton has to cut the chicane. Verstappen does as well. Hamilton wins the Monaco Grand Prix.
Get in there, Lewis. That one's for Nicky, mate. That one is for Nicky.
Lewis, that was a victory worth Nicky. Well done, unbelievable job, congratulations.
That was definitely probably the hardest race I think I've had. I really was fighting with the spirit of Nicky. Nicky's been such an influential person in our team, helping us get to where we are. So I know he'll be looking down, and I know he will take his hat off today. I just was trying to stay focused and trying to make him proud.
Give me tires for 68
There's only one way to do it.
they wouldn't get to the end. They didn't make it to the end.